Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning yoga class. My name is Michelle. I will be guiding you through the next 60 minutes. You can begin in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you, if it's seated or laying down. Just beginning to tap in to the rhythm of your breath. Arriving in your body, on your mat. Allow the eyes to close if it's comfortable for you. And start to notice the physical sensations of the body. And trace the path of the breath flowing in through the nostrils. And feeling chest rise, belly rise. And a lot of softening with each exhale as you trace the path of the breath back out through the nose. And your awareness starts to settle. See if you can begin to deepen each inhale. And lengthen each exhale. Now that your awareness has arrived in the physical body, and turn your gaze inward to the emotional, spiritual bodies. And checking in with yourself, how you feel this morning. Without judgment, just noticing. And I invite you to call to mind an intention for the day, of how you want to feel, how you want to carry through your day. You might hold this intention in your heart, or perhaps you let the sensation start to wash over your body. As we move through our practice today, when you notice the mind start to wander, I invite you to bring yourself back to your breath, landing in the physical body, and then calling to mind that intention for yourself for today, holding that in your heart and mind. And take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up through chest and belly. Open your mouth side out. Once more, deep cleansing breath to the bottom of the lungs. And part your left side out. Your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. If you're resting on your back, let the legs stretch forward, full body stretch. And then your exhale, release. Either hug the knees in towards the chest or slowly make your way onto your back body if you are not already there. With knees hugged in, find a gentle rocking side to side, massaging out through the lower back, noticing any tension in this space. You might find circles with the knees in one direction. I'm switching to the other. I'm finding a little love for yourself, your body this morning. And then bring your hands to your hamstrings. Lift your heels up towards the ceiling. There might be a bend in the knees here. That's fine. Just finding a gentle opening. And then find some movement through the ankles. So you might point and flex. Maybe rolling out in circles in one direction. Then the other. I'm going to bend through the knees, lower your feet to plant on the outer edges of the mat. Let your arms extend out towards the side, finding T or cactus arms. We'll begin to layer movement over breath. On the exhale, lower your knees to the left. Use your inhale to draw them back through center. And exhale to the right. Move through a few more rounds of this at your own pace with your own breath. Using inhales to draw your knees through center. And exhales to move into a gentle twist. After your next complete round, when knees meet in the middle, start to shimmy your feet in. So sitting bones will be in line with heels, hip distance apart. Press your palms into the mat alongside your hips. Roll the upper arms outward, feel your shoulder blades ground down, press in through the feet. On your inhale, lift your hips up off of the mat, nice engaged core and glutes. And on your exhale, slowly roll down the spine. Try and feel each point connect to the earth separately, allowing your hips to ground last. And again, we're layering movement over breath, connecting with our own rhythm. So inhale to rise. Exhale finds a mindful lowering. Feeling ourselves ground back down into the earth. Move through 2 more rounds. And when you land, reach one of your arms overhead and slowly make your way onto your side body. And take a few rounds of breath here. Feel the breath fill up through the back side of the body. So we really have 360 degrees around the rib cage where we're taking space and filling up, nourishing our bodies with the breath. Press in to your front hand. Bring yourself up to a seated position. We'll sit with feet planted, knees bent. Sit up nice and tall. Start to imagine dragging your heels back towards your bum without actually moving them. And then you might set up with hands behind you as a kickstand. And then we'll lift the shins. Maybe you lift one foot at a time. So shins are in line with the floor. Option to bring hands to hamstrings. Again, we're sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you're pressing your back into a slide behind you. Maybe you reach the arms forward in your boat pose. Your choice here, your practice, really tapping into your strength this morning. Notice if you're holding the breath. See if you can invite the inhales in through chest and belly again. Allow any softening, any gripping with each exhale. And then lower the feet back down. Extend your left leg out towards the side. So it's creating a V shape if you were to extend both legs. And then bend your right knee. And bringing your right foot to the inside of the left leg. Sit up nice and tall. You might rock back and forth. If you have a bend in the knee, you can bring a pillow or block underneath to support if you'd like. And then walk the hands forward. It doesn't have to be far. We're just kind of increasing that stretch a little bit. And then start to walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands back through center and then over to the right. So we'll keep moving, creating this semicircle, this arc. And just noticing where you feel the different sensations, how the stretch changes as you move. You might feel this through both legs. You might feel this through the lower back, maybe even the shoulders. Move through one more of these arcs. And the next time you come back through center, walk the hands in, sit up nice and tall again. We'll bring the hands behind us. Fingers can point to the side or behind you, whatever is more comfortable. And start to lift the heart up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You're welcome to stay here. Perhaps you press into the right hand, reaching the left arm up, lift up through the hips, pressing into your legs. Right leg, left foot, right arm connected. I need your exhale to slowly lower the hips back down. So then we'll switch to the other side. So right leg extends out, left foot comes in. Sit up nice and tall, and then bring the hands forward. Again, don't worry about how far they are. And then start to find your circling, walking out through the arms. Stretching along the legs, the side body, the lower back. I'm finding a bit more of a dynamic opening. The next time you come back through center, walk yourself back in and bring the hands behind you and start to lift up through the heart. Still connected with the breath here. And again, your option, maybe you press into the left hand, reach the right arm forward and back as you lift the hips up. Think about lifting the heart open towards the ceiling. And use your exhale to lower back down. And bring the legs in. Make your way into your tabletop position. You can find a little bit of movement here, maybe a few rounds of cat-cow. You might gently sway the hips side to side. And come to a neutral spine. Get nice and engaged through the core. So notice if the belly's dropping down or your ribs are flaring out. Just draw all of that in. The tailbone might feel like it's lengthening back. Extend your right leg out behind you, hip height. I like to keep the foot flexed, pressing out through the heel. Maybe you like to point the toe. Either way, we're nice and engaged through that back leg and foot. Option here to reach the left arm forward as well. So we're creating a nice long line of energy. So left fingertips through the arm, all the way through the spine, out through the back leg. Lower your left arm down. Draw your knee in towards the chest, really round through the spine. Press the floor away from you with your hands. And step or help your foot through to the front of the mat. On your inhale, rise up, finding your low lunge. Check in with the shoulders here. Are they tense? Are they creeping up? See if you can soften. You might roll the shoulders up and back here. On your exhale, start to straighten your front leg. The hips will shift backwards. Option to lower hands to floor or blocks. Maybe you sweep your arms behind you, squeezing shoulder blades together, finding airplane arms. You get a nice connection with the breath. Crown of the head is reaching up and forward. Lunge into your right knee, lift back up, low lunge. Lower your right hand to your right hip. Find nice length through the left arm. Fingers are nice and energized. Then reach up and over towards the right. So we're lengthening all along the left side of the body, feeling the breath expansive through the left side of the rib cage. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lower your hands down. And draw your knee back to your table. You might sway the hip side to side here. And setting up for the other side. This time, the left leg extends out behind you. If you want to make sure it's hip height, you can peek your gaze over your left shoulder. And an option to reach the right arms forward as well. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Exhale, lower your right hand down. Start to draw your knee in, press the mat away from you. Nice round spine. And then gaze forward, step or help your foot through to the front of the mat. And your inhale, rise up. And a few rounds of breath. Allow your shoulders to soften, your gaze to soften. Exhale, straighten out through the front leg. Hands can meet floor, blocks. Perhaps they sweep behind you, finding airplane arms, shoulder blades drawing back. Your practice, your choice this morning. Now as you draw yourself back to your breath, see if you can bring your intention for the day back to mind, and calling it into your heart. Lunge into the left knee again. Inhale, rise up. And lower your left hand to your left hip. Get nice and long through the right side of the body, reaching up and over. And keep your right shoulder drawing back, so heart is open and pointed ahead. And use your inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lower hands down. You bring your left knee back in line with right. And you might walk your hands slightly forward here before tucking toes under, lifting hips up and back to find your downward dog. And again, finding a bit of movement when we land, so perhaps bending one knee at a time, pedaling out the legs. We might gently shift the hips from side to side. Shift your gaze forward. Slowly walk your hands towards your thighs. Then when you land, stay in your forward fold. You can reach for opposite elbows, maybe finding a gentle sway side to side. Notice if you're lifting the head up at all. Relax to the back of the neck. Let the head feel heavy like a bowling ball. Getting all the muscles that work to keep us upright all day. A little bit of a break here, a little bit of release. And release the elbows, slowly roll up the spine. Come to a standing position. Let your palms face forward, finding your mountain pose, Tadasana. Allow yourself to feel the feet rooting down into the earth. Crown of the head extending tall. Spine is lengthening with each inhale. Roll your shoulders up and back. We'll do that once more. Shoulders roll up and back. On your inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, bring hands in through heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, guide hands in through heart center. You can imagine when the arms sweep up, you're gathering that feeling of the intention you set for yourself. And on your exhale, you're guiding that into your heart center. The next time hands come in through heart center, hinge over your hips, fold, allow the head to hang heavy again. Inhale, fingertips to shins, lengthen your spine halfway. Think of crown of the head reaching forward, long spine again. Exhale, release and fold. Ground through the feet, rise up, arms sweep overhead. And exhale, bring hands in through heart center. Inhale, fingers reach high towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge over your hips, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to release. Inhale, rise up nice and energized. Exhale, sit your hips back as though you're in an imaginary chair. Your arms can remain overhead here. Maybe you bring them in through heart center. Weight is back in the heels. Breath is still full until the legs start to fire up. Again, we're tapping into our strength. We can start our day feeling strong and energized. So just shift your weight into your left foot as you straighten your left leg. See if you can draw your right knee in towards the chest. If it falls, if it taps the ground, that's fine. And then step your right foot back 3 or 4 feet, planting the foot for warrior one. Arms sweep up overhead. Hips are square towards the front of the mat. Exhale, bring hands in through heart center. On your inhale, draw in through the lower belly. And on your exhale, twist towards the left. As you find your twist, you might shift your gaze over your left shoulder. Notice how that changes your balance. Inhale, guide yourself back through center. On your next inhale, start to lift your heart up into your thumbs, up towards the ceiling. Keep shoulder blades drawing together on your back body. Notice if you start to bend the back knee, really nice and engaged through that left or right leg. Neutralize through the spine. So just shift your weight into your left foot. Your right heel might lift. Your back toes might even drag in slightly. Find that long line of energy from crown of the head out through the back leg. And then maybe you play with shifting into your warrior three, lifting the back leg, letting the heart bow forward. Stay nice and active through the back leg. So press out through the heel, or if toes are pointed, pressing out through those toes. Nice engaged core. You can imagine your left foot is growing roots down into the earth, finding steadiness. And then slowly rise up to stand. Release your right foot alongside the left. Give yourself a moment to feel grounded here with both feet connected to the earth. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, sit your hips back. Find your chair pose. Again, option to bring hands in through heart center. Notice if the ribs are flaring a lot here. Draw them in. Maybe find a little more length through the tailbone, the lower back. And start to shift your weight into your right foot. Straighten the leg. Maybe just your heel lifts. Maybe your whole knee lifts. And then step your left foot back for warrior one. Pressing into the outer edge of the left foot as you lunge into your right knee. Bring your hands in through heart center. Inhale, start to draw in through the lower belly. Think about lengthening your tailbone down to the floor. Exhale, twist towards the right. Your gaze might shift over your right shoulder. Inhale, bring yourself back through center. Shift your weight into your right foot. Left heel lifts. Drag the foot in slightly. And let yourself find your hinge, moving into your warrior three. Not worrying about the wobbles. Keep shoulder blades drawing back. And slowly bring yourself up to stand. Again, feeling grounded on your 2 feet. Lower your hands alongside the body and finding Tadasana. You might close the eyes here as you feel the breath move through you again. Filling up through both chest and belly. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge over your hips, forward fold. Inhale, bring your fingertips to your shins, lengthen halfway. Exhale, lower your hands to plank, step your feet to the back of the mat. Option to lower knees here in your plank. Eyes of the elbows spin forward, nice engaged core. On your exhale, slowly lower your chest down to the mat. Press tops of the feet into the earth. Inhale, lift chest and hands to hover. Draw your shoulder blades together. Draw your elbows back towards your hips. Crown of the head is reaching forward, so back of the neck is long. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Press through hands and knees. And then lift up into downward dog. Check in with how the shoulders are feeling this morning. If it's feeling heavy in your downward dog, find a deeper bend in the knees. Send the hips back a little bit more. And think about broadening across the collarbones here. Really press the mat away from you with your hands. And your inhale, lift your right toes high towards the ceiling. Exhale as you draw your knee in, round through the upper back. Feel the space between your shoulder blades lift. Look forward, step or help your foot through to the front of the mat. Back heel stays lifted. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. On your exhale, twist towards the right. Reach your right fingers back. Left fingers reach forward. And again, perhaps the gaze shifts. Notice how that shifts your balance for you. Inhale, come back through center. Interlace fingers behind your head. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, elbows draw back. Inhale, lift the heart up towards the ceiling. So we're finding a lifting motion rather than leaning back. Neutralize through the spine. And bring your arms to cactus. Turn all 10 toes towards the left. We'll turn toes out from heels and then sit your hips down, finding your goddess pose. Keep shoulder blades drawing back. So we're open across the chest. Lower your left forearm to your left thigh. Reach your right arms overhead, finding nice space to the right side of the body. On your inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lower right forearm to right thigh, left fingers reach overhead. Nice length through the left side of the body. Inhale, rise back up. Release your hands to your hips, straighten the legs. Turn your left foot so it's in line with the back edge of the mat. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat. Lunge into your right knee, arms sweep out, warrior two. And gaze a soft over right fingertips. Lower your right forearm to right thigh, reach left fingers up towards the ceiling, find your side angle. Try and stay nice and strong through both sides of the body so we're not leaning into the right arm. Maybe you straighten your bottom arm, pointing fingers towards toes. Inhale, rise back up. Flip your front palm, reach up and back, exalted warrior. Keep the lunge through your right knee, your right hip's the starting point that we find length from. And nice and controlled, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, left heel lifts. Step your right foot back to meet the left. Option to lower the knees always. On your exhale, lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, lifting into your baby cobra. Perhaps you press into hands, lifting up into upward dog. Really press the mat away from you. Collarbones broad, nice engaged core. Move through to downward dog. Deep cleansing breath here in through the nose. Open your mouth side out. Inhale, reach your left toes high. Exhale, draw your knee in. Step your foot through for the front of the mat. Back heel stays lifted. On inhale, we rise. Stay active through the back leg. Think about lifting inner lining of hamstring up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, twist towards the left. Right fingers reach forward. Left fingers reach back. Your gaze might shift towards your left thumb. And then we're staying strong and steady through the legs here. Nice supportive base for a twist. Inhale, come back through center. On your exhale, interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows draw wide. And inhale, lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Neutralize through your spine. Release your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes to the right. Find a nice long spine here. Keep your hands on your hips. On your exhale, hinge. So the movement's starting from the pelvis, nice long spine. When you feel the point that your stretch feels nice and open, you can allow the spine to round down. Maybe hands draw down legs. They might meet the floor. Option to stay here, breathing space into this gentle opening. If you want to find a bit of movement, you can turn the toes out slightly, maybe bending into one knee at a time. You can do this if your hands are on the floor. You can do this if your hands are on your hips. Come to a neutral spine. Find a bit of a bend in the knees, and then lift your torso back up. Turn your right foot so it's in line with back edge of the mat. Left toes point towards the front of the mat. Lunge into your knee. Find your warrior two. Gaze is steady. Breath is steady. We want shoulders over hips. Notice if you're leaning forward or leaning back. Squaring yourself, head over heart over hips, right in the moment. Lower your left forearm, left thigh, right fingers reach up. Again, stay nice and lifted and long through the left side of the body. Maybe you straighten that bottom arm. Inhale, lift yourself back up through warrior two. Right away from the front palm, reach up and back, exalted warrior. We're finding lift and openness through the left side. Nice controlled movement. Cartwheel your hands all the way down to frame the front foot. Right heel pivots up. Step your left foot back to meet the right. Maybe you lower your knees. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale to find your back bend of choice. Exhale, we land in downward dog. And make your way onto your belly. So maybe you come to plank and lower down. If you want to go through hands and knees, however you want to get there at this point, bring your hands behind you alongside your hips. Really start to press the feet down into the earth. Feel your legs engage. On your inhale, lift your chest, lift your arms. Crown of the head is reaching forward, fingers are reaching back. You're kind of like a Superman here, flying the arms like your cape behind you. And notice if you're still breathing. Let the breath be intentional. On your exhale, lower back down. You can let one cheek land on the mat. I'll set up for the next round, turning your head. Really start to press through the feet. Let your kneecaps start to lift, quads are engaging. Inhale, lift up through chest and arms. Maybe you lift the legs as well. So toes are reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward. And this one I like to think of myself like being a human skipping rope. So there's a gradual lift on each side of the body, but we're still lengthening. And still breathing intentionally. Each inhale, each exhale. And then lower yourself back down. Maybe you turn the other cheek to the mat this time. And then setting up for our final round, bring your head back through center, nice engagement through the legs. Maybe you just lift chest and arms. Maybe you lift the legs as well. Option here if the legs are lifted to start to bend the knees, bringing feet in towards hands. If you're just creating a shape and they don't connect, that's okay. Maybe hands can take hold of feet or an ankle, and then find a bit more lift. So press hands into feet, feet into hands, finding that resistance. Chest lifts, legs might lift a little bit more. And on your exhale, slowly lower everything down. Make a pillow for your face with your hands. If your knees aren't bent, bend them now so heels point up towards the ceiling. And we'll find a very gentle sway of the legs from side to side. Move more slowly than you would like to hear. Your feet come back through center. Release the legs down. Walk your hands in underneath the chest. Send your hips back to your heels. Maybe knees come out towards the side. Find a child's pose. Your forehead might connect to the mat. If it does, gently turn the head side to side. If you want to find a little bit of movement, you might rock into one hip and then the other. Finding yourself in a posture that's really grounding and reflective. And checking in with yourself, noticing what comes up in this moment. Oftentimes, as we start to slow down the body, the mind can start to speed up. So notice what you're telling yourself. Notice if it's helpful. And see if you can bring yourself back to your breath. Landing in this moment in your body. And then bring yourself back to your intention. that you set for yourself today. And slowly start to walk your hands in towards your knees, lifting your torso up. And then swing your legs around in front of you. Make your way onto your back body. And draw your knees into your chest. Let the arms extend out, finding to your cactus. And on your exhale, lower your legs down towards the left, finding your twist. You can straighten the legs away from you a little bit more if this is intense. The closer the knees in, the more of a twist this is. If you want to let the head join, lift the head, turn your gaze to the right, and then lower your ear down to the mat. And try and keep your right shoulder lowering down against the earth. So we're still open and broad across the chest. Each inhale, you might feel a little bit more of an opening. And start to allow yourself to get comfortable with the stillness, with the quiet. As you hold here for 3 more rounds of breath. On your inhale, guide yourself back through center. Make any adjustments you need and draw the knees back in towards the chest. And on your exhale, lower your knees down to the right. Again, left shoulder stays rooting down. If you're going to shift the gaze, lift the head. Turn your gaze to the left and then lower your ear down to the mat. And allow yourself to settle into this gentle, loving twist for 6 rounds of breath. On your inhale, guide yourself back through center. With feet lowered to the mat, bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees fall to outer edges. You can bring any props you'd like under the knees if you'd like. Bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to the belly. And once again, start to feel the breath moving through your body, feeling the chest rise into your left hand, belly rise into your right hand. And feel the softening with each exhale. You might feel your heart beating underneath the skin of your left hand. And bringing your awareness to your heart center, feeling the energy pooling there. Call to mind your intention for how you want to feel today. If your intention was an accomplishment, call to mind how you will feel after that. And then repeat silently in your mind 3 times, I am, followed by that feeling. So if it's I am calm, I am strong, whatever it is, repeating it 3 times, calling it into your heart, into your spirit. And take one more deep cleansing breath. Fill up through chest, belly. Open your mouth side out. Bring your hands to the outside of the legs. Guide the knees in. And let your legs extend out to the bottom of the mat. Arms alongside the body, palms facing up. If this isn't comfortable for you, you're welcome to take any other posture that will allow you to settle in for your Shavasana. Settling in for your final rest. Allow the eyes to close. Allow yourself to release any remaining tension through body, through mind. Allow yourself to settle, knowing my voice will be here to guide you back when our rest is complete. Allow your awareness of your breath begin to deepen as you allow the physical breath to begin to deepen. Beginning to nourish and energize the body. Invite gentle movement to the body, starting with fingers and toes. And increasing, roll out through wrists and ankles. And gently turn your head from one side to the other. And take any other larger movements to help wake your body up. It could be a full body stretch, perhaps hugging knees in towards the chest. And slowly make your way into a comfortable seated position, allowing sit bones to ground down, spine lengthened tall. On your inhale, roll your shoulders up and back. Inhale, reach your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, guide them in through heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your practice with me this morning. We'll seal practice with a call for peace throughout and peace within. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I hope you have a lovely and mindful rest of your day. Thank you so much.